Hello, this is Tatiana Kolavu, and this is the October version of my newsletter, Stronger, that I publish in LinkedIn. Stand Strong, Tips for Delivering Powerful Presentations. It's the time of the year in the academic semester when I pore over hours of videos of my students giving presentations designed to sharpen their speaking skills. Relax your hands, plant your feet, or project to the back of the room are all examples of suggestions I share to help them get better with the critical skill of public speaking that they will need as professionals. As the legendary investor and business philosopher Warren Buffett said, the one easy way to increase your value by 50% is to hone your communication skills, both written and verbal. I give my students feedback embedded within each recorded speech video with GoReact, a super effective tool that could help any educator or coach. Here are some useful pointers for strengthening the performance of your next presentation. First one, use your hands. Confidence, comfort, and ease are all qualities communicated when we see leaders gesture naturally and intentionally. A study in the Leadership and Organizational Development Journal describes an experiment where subjects were shown videos of speakers in a leadership position. The spoken part was exactly the same positive message, but a third of the speakers didn't use any gestures. Another third used defensive hand gestures, such as hands in pockets, arms crossed over the chest or behind the back. And the final third used positive gestures, palms up towards the audience, and illustrative gestures. Can you guess which group was perceived as more likable and attractive by viewers? Bingo, the final group. It's no secret that using your hands to gesture along with your message helps define you as being more authentic. Regardless if you're sitting or standing, speak to your audience live or on camera using some relevant to the topic gestures and get comfortable with them. Number 2, stand strong. You may have heard of power posing, the stance used by some to gain inner strength before a stressful event. Does how we stand in front of a group or the way we walk into the room help to display credibility and strength? Definitely. A recent University of Mississippi study examined, among other nonverbals, the posture of an expert witness as a perceived source of credibility. The stronger the stance, the more credible the witnesses came across. Consider standing in a live or virtual setting. Engage your core muscles, relax your shoulders, and raise your collarbone upward in an effort to stand tall. If seated, try pulling your back a few inches away from the back of the chair to come across as being more engaged. Here are some helpful segments of my Creating and Giving Business Presentations LinkedIn Learning course. You'll see the protagonist, Katie, in action and me pointing out some of her speaking successes. Number 3, connect and scan. Having dozens of eyeballs locked on you can make for an unnerving in a live presentation setting and just as awkward in a virtual setting. Much like with gestures and posture, a successful speaker connects purposefully through eye contact. Here are a few training tips I give my students. First, have a loop of a live audience projected in a large screen you have in front of you and practice. 2, gather friends in a live or virtual setting and practice again. And 3, practice in the same venue as your actual presentation will be. You might even go as far as to print out photos of the audience to attach to the chairs. And this can be helpful if you need to identify people attending your presentation. This may be extreme for an auditorium setting, but if you're presenting in a boardroom, this tip can help you be better prepared. 4, finally, on the day of your presentation, aim from the friendly faces first and always think more of what your audience needs from you versus the stress you are feeling in the moment. Number 4, vary your expressions. Nerves take over when we speak in front of a crowd, and we often struggle with matching our words to our facial expressions. How many times have you heard someone say, "We're very excited to present this idea to you today," while coming across as apathetic or distracted. We evoke both positive and negative feelings with the emotion we project in our faces. Record yourself in front of a group, turn off the volume, and ask a trusted colleague to guess what you were talking about. This simple test will give you insights about how you emote during a presentation. Regardless of your personality and personal preference with facial expressions, make an effort to vary them. Your audience will identify you as being more authentic and believable. Bank on your preparation. Practicing your main talking points and transitions, timing your segments, and refining your slides if you use them are all strategies which will set you up for success. Athletes practice pre-performance routines to help improve their game. In a study from the Journal of Sports Behavior, researchers measured the pre-performance free throw routines of basketball players and found that athletes who used a routine before the shots had a higher percentage of success with free throws. What about you? Do you have the equivalent of a pre-shot routine where you use centering and breathing exercises before you speak to an audience? Do you have certain presentations morning of or bedtime before routines? Routines can help improve your performance in critical work situations, such as negotiations or a boardroom meeting. When you're invested in your preparation, you'll undoubtedly project more strength and confidence. From standing strong to projecting and authentically connecting with your audience, these strategies will culminate in a winning presentation. Public speaking ranks near the top of other dreaded fears. But I'm here to confirm that you can make it more enjoyable and be more influential with your own professional brand. Now, join me on Thursday, October 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for office hours. These are the previous LinkedIn Lives, a time dedicated to discussing my Creating and Giving Business Presentations LinkedIn Learning course. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to release a free view the week before on my profile page. You can take the course and come to office hours to discuss how it can make your presentation stronger. Follow me on LinkedIn where I will post the link. Thank you so much for listening.